Hello everybody and welcome to the Showcase, where we take a look at articles on Wikipedia, the Star Wars Wiki. Today on the Showcase we take a look at Sister, so let's get started. Quote,
"What's your name, Trooper?" "Sister. It's how my brothers tell everyone I belong. Belonging is important."
Anakin Skywalker and Sister. Sister was the name of a trans female clone trooper who served in the Grand Army of the Republic during the Clone Wars. In 22 BBY, she participated in a battle alongside Jedi Knight Obi-Wan Kenobi, Clone Commander Cody, and Jedi Padawan Anakin Skywalker as part of the 7th Sky Corps. After the battle, Sister and Skywalker discussed how she had received her name from her brother troopers in affirmation of her gender identity. The same year, the Republic sent Sister on an aid mission to the planet Langston alongside Skywalker and the Republic's 302nd Battalion. Biography. Quote,
"I was afraid before I left Kamino. We don't really know what happens to unusual clones. But my brothers never let me doubt. I wasn't sure if the Jedi would understand. The Jedi are all about transcending things. I don't think we can complain if you've transcended gender." Transcended gender. We'll work on it. But I like where it's heading.
Sister and Anakin Skywalker. A trans female clone trooper who took on the name Sister was created on the planet Kamino as a clone of the human male bounty hunter Jango Fett. She served in the Grand Army of the Republic by the start of the Clone Wars, a galaxy-wide conflict between the Galactic Republic and the Confederacy of Independent Systems. Prior to leaving Kamino, she was given the name Sister by her brothers, who wished for her to feel a firm sense of belonging and support of her gender identity from them. Although Sister was initially scared of not being welcomed by her Jedi commanding officers due to her gender, which differed from many of her brother troopers, she proved able to work well with her superiors once the Clone Wars began. In 22 BBY, Sister participated in a battle on a rocky planet while serving under Jedi Knight Obi-Wan Kenobi, Clone Commander Cody, and Jedi Padawan Anakin Skywalker as part of the 7th Sky Corps. Saddened by the deaths resulting from the battle, Sister arranged the helmets of her fallen brothers beneath a tree as a memorial. When asked by Skywalker for her name, she explained the origins of her name and the strong support of her gender identity among her brothers. Intrigued, the Padawan told her about the Jedi belief of rising above things, comparing it to Sister transcending the concept of gender that she felt existed among clones. As both humans walked toward Kenobi's location for a rendezvous, she agreed with the sentiment of his statement. In the same year, the Republic deployed Sister on an aid mission to the mining planet Langston alongside Skywalker and the Republic's 302nd Battalion. In charge of a transport, she and other troopers waited in a launch bay while waiting for further instructions. When the Jedi signaled to her, Sister informed him that his ship was ready for departure while gesturing to the troopers awaiting his command. As Skywalker and the Jedi initiate Mil Aelbeth moved to board the vessel, Sister saluted the pair. Personality and traits. Quote,
"We leave our brothers' helmets where they fall."
Sister to Anakin Skywalker. As a clone of Jango Fett, Sister was 1.83 meters, or 6 feet, tall and had tan skin. She had long, dark hair that she kept styled in rows of tightly woven braids. By the time she served under Kenobi, Sister considered herself a loyal Republic trooper. She grieved her brothers when they fell in battle, opting to arrange their helmets in a respectful way as a monument to remember them. Although she was initially nervous about embracing her femininity in front of her commanding officers, Sister gained confidence in her gender identity through the support of her brothers and later from the acceptance of the Jedi she served under. Equipment. At birth, like the other clone troopers, Sister was implanted by the Kaminoan scientists with a behavioral modification biochip to ensure that the trooper would not resist certain orders. While in battle, she wore clone trooper armor and her helmet was painted with vertical blue and magenta stripes. Behind the scenes. Milestones. Quote, "Sister doesn't have a huge part in the book, so we didn't want to use her existence as promo. I made her to be shared, not just with readers, but with other Star Wars writers as well." Author E.K. Johnston on Sister. Sister first appeared in Queen's Hope, a young adult novel written by author E.K. Johnston and published on April 5, 2022. On March 8, 2022, Johnston shared a drawing of Clone Commander Six to announce the beginning of an art contest she was hosting on Twitter. Following this, the author revealed her design for Sister in a reply to Stick's artwork and included an art commission of her done by Yuzuri Art. In the image, Sister is depicted with Phase 2 clone trooper armor that is painted light blue and pink in the shades of the transgender flag. The commission also showed Sister with braided dark brown hair, parts of which are dyed pink, and a DC-15A blaster rifle. Author Mike Chen's novel Brotherhood, published on May 10, 2022, portrays Sister with the braided hairstyle and blue and magenta helmet first depicted in her commissioned artwork. Chen later noted that he had been sent the commissioned piece as a reference upon agreeing to cameo the trooper in Brotherhood, having agreed immediately to Johnston's request for her inclusion. The author's novel had been written in consultation with Johnston to ensure the plots of their books aligned. Johnston remarked that Sister was created to be shared with readers and other Star Wars writers, but that due to her limited role in Queen's Hope, she would not be used in the novel's promotional materials. When asked about the trooper's introduction in the novel, she hoped that the queer representation in Queen's Hope would help readers feel that someone was fighting for them to be included. The author also hoped that any writer who worked in the time period could easily use the character if they needed a clone trooper, and was optimistic she would receive more appearances in the future. Sister was not present in the first version of Queen's Hope, but the author had been considering her addition for several months before her introduction to the plot. Development. Quote,
Sister was an idea that I'd been floating around for a couple months at that point, and I knew that it was going to be a short scene. I knew that it was going to be very unsubtle, and I knew that I wanted it to be with Anakin because I wanted it to be one of his most, Jake Lloyd moments in the whole book. I wanted that immediate acceptance to shine through in that scene.
E.K. Johnston on Sister's creation. When Johnston submitted the first draft of the novel to Lucasfilm Story Group's Jennifer Heddle at some point between December 18, 2020 and May 4, 2021, the story group asked the author if she would be willing to change the A-Tipo character to be transgender instead of gender fluid. Although she refused, Johnston began thinking of how to fill other requests made regarding the next draft and introduced Sister at some point by May 27, 2021. The author created Sister for the scene she is depicted in with Skywalker and Queen's Hope, as the story group also wanted the Jedi to feature more in the novel. Despite the shortness of Sister's scene, Johnston took care to write about her gender identity in a very non-subtle way. She also wanted readers to see Sister and the Jedi's reactions in a moment reflecting the innocence and genuineness of Jake Lloyd, the actor who portrayed Skywalker as a child in the 1999 prequel trilogy film Star Wars Episode I: The Phantom Menace, and specifically his immediate acceptance of the trooper. Some elements the author intentionally wrote in the scene included a terrible pun, Skywalker's lack of shock after seeing Sister take off her helmet, and the Jedi's compassion so that the reader could mentally compare to how harsh he became as a character afterward. Johnston stated that there was no pushback in adding Sister to the book, and that she had instantly decided what her name would be. When creating the character, she intentionally avoided assigning the trooper a designation number to include Skywalker asking for her name as a plot point. The author noted that the woman had put off choosing a name because she was unsure what the Kaminoans would do to her at first, and was later given the name Sister by her brothers. Her addition was celebrated alongside Tipo's incorporation by the story group's Emily Shukani, with whom she had several conversations regarding the character. When drafting Skywalker's lines in the Queen's Hope scene, Johnston aimed to capture the same energy as Jedi Master Yoda's empathy for the clones serving under him in Ambush, the first episode of the first season of Star Wars: The Clone Wars animated television series, which first aired on October 3, 2008. She mirrored Yoda's request for his troopers to take off their helmets by having Skywalker ask the same of Sister in the novel, both scenes of which she felt showed the Jedi's care for the clones' lives. However, she also indicated that the moment Sister and Skywalker met reflected the character qualities portrayed by Jedi Master Qui-Gon Jinn's open acceptance of individuals, a quality she felt the Jedi Order as an entity was not often known for. Johnston also agreed with the notion that Skywalker would be able to relate with Sister as he felt he was an outsider within the Jedi Order, somewhat tying to the troopers' worries about acceptance. The author briefly considered moving Sister's part in the book to be the clone that interacts with Amidala instead of Styx, but eventually opted against it. Thanks everyone for watching, and we hope you've enjoyed this video. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and until next time, this is Spooky Willow signing off, and may the Force be with you.